Hey, I think we're live now. Sorry, I was just a minute late, maybe. I don't know. What time is it? Yeah, right at 1 minute late. I got to get things out of the way so I can see. All right. My desk is very cluttered. You can't see that, but it's very cluttered. So anyway, hey, let's get disclaimers out of the way. We'll jump right into it. We got a giveaway going out tonight. Didn't we say that was going to end today? I think today's the last day. So if you have not gone back to the video I posted, I guess it's been 2 weeks ago now, about the 100,000 subscriber giveaway. You've still got a few minutes left to get a comment in there, get your comment in for the giveaway. All right, disclaimers. This is a weekly live broadcast. We do this pretty much every Thursday evening, 8 o'clock Central. Sometimes life gets in the way, can't make it, but for the most part, we're good. Thursday evenings, 8 o'clock Central Time. We don't have a topic planned out. This is just a chance to interact. So if you have questions, I do my best to respond to every comment that comes in during the, well, I shouldn't say comment, every chat that comes in during the live broadcast itself, unless you're talking to each other, in which case it's fine. I just skip over those. The only things I ask is be polite, be family friendly. Don't start cussing at us, calling us names, any of those kinds of things. Be rude to anybody. We'll have to kick you out. We can have good, disagreements. We can have friendly debates, but we don't want to cause any, like I said, no, don't be rude. There's no reason to be rude. You can have a disagreement, still be friends. So let's jump into it. We got Verna here. Chips is here. Good to see you. S.O. Swanson, good to see you too. Hey, Miranda Barnes is here. Says first time catching the live. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. S.O. Swanson, good to see you. Said your internet's slow tonight. You got 3 likes. Or well, we got 3 likes in here. Now we're up to 19 likes already too. We haven't even started, so we're on a good track. Orlando says, I get my quail eggs from my Shire farm today, but I don't know if I will put the eggs on the incubator. What do you all recommend? Well, when I get shipped eggs, I usually put them in the egg turner. I don't turn it on. I just put them in the egg turner, let them set overnight, or roughly 24 hours, not quite 12 to 24 hours, and then go ahead and put them in the incubator. Just set them next to the incubator, let them acclimate, let them settle down, and then go in the incubator the next morning. That's usually how I do it. Miranda wants to know if there's a theme for the live stream. You probably already caught that, but no theme. We just do our best to respond to every comment. We're going to go for about, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we'll do the giveaways because I want to get those out tonight too. Miranda says, let your eggs sit overnight, pointy side down before incubating. There we go. Got an answer there. Verna's got a response too. Let them rest for 24 hours while your incubator is heating up. There you go. And Miranda wants to know how long did they ship for? Well, that's a good question. Hey, there's Blessed with Pets. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Like I said, if you guys have not gotten your comments on the video and you are a subscriber, go do that real quick. You got maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll do it at a quarter after. 10 minutes to get your comments in on the video if you want to be considered for the giveaway. We're giving away a GQF incubator. We're giving away a Dale's Quails cage. We're giving away a Wynola Ranch cage as well. So got some giveaways to do. Make sure you get in for that. I don't know if Dale or Zach or anybody is here tonight. I don't see any responses yet, but we'll see. They may be in here tonight. S.O. Swanson. Wow, you got a bunch of responses to Orlando. Miranda says, okay, great. I've got a batch of 21 getting booted from the brooder after the rain tonight, and a batch that started incubating on Thanksgiving should have eggs laid by Christmas. Awesome. Congratulations on your hatches. It sounds like they went pretty well. And then we got Warchild says, hey, I'll shout out from Aotearoa, New Zealand, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Miranda says, and put a temp and humidity sensor in there, preferably one on central and another on the outside edge. I'm not sure what that was a response to. That's got to be Lars, right? Lars with the super chat. I bet it is. It is Lars with 169 Danish crowns, I think it is. Super chat. Thank you so much for that, Lars. It's I always know it's you whenever it's the Danish crowns. You never ask for anything. You just come in and throw some money at me, and Well, I appreciate it. You're very generous. Thank you very much for that. Miranda, I already got that one. S.O. Swanson says, I found the treatment for my quail addiction, more quail. There you go. Blessed with Pets says, I've got the setup tonight, clean room, cuddled in the bed with like 40 stuffed animals, Chris on the TV commenting on my phone, and a bacon burger meal from Wendy's. There you go. All for you, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and sharing what you got. A bacon burger from Wendy's. That doesn't sound bad at all. Let's see. Max, what are you doing, buddy? Where are we at here? S.O. Swanson says, I could go for some Wendy's chili. Yeah, they do have chili. I heard a story about how they came up with their chili, how Wendy's came up with their chili. It was like all the burgers, instead of throwing out the burgers that they had extras of, they would just crumble them up and make chili and just started making chili out of them. But I also heard a story about somebody that went to a chili cook-off with a bunch of Wendy's chili and ended up winning. I'm not sure it's that good to win a chili cook-off unless the other chili was really bad, but it's not bad. It's pretty decent chili. Andrew says, hey, I'm from northern Alaska. Hopefully everyone is warmer than I bet we are. It's actually wasn't bad today. It was like in the 50s today, so not bad. We haven't gotten to the real cold weather yet. Jesse Mills is here. Good to see you, Jesse. And then Scrap 5000 from New York City is good to see you. Oh, the commercial. Did you get an ad running? I'm sorry. I can't control when those ads run. I mean, I could pick places where they run, but I don't know exactly how to do that. So I pick conservative, so it runs as few as possible, but I don't know how to keep them from running all the time. Chester Hickman's here. Good to see you. What else we got here? There's Boris. Good to see you, Boris. Thanks for joining us. Princess Cruiser says, hi, I was in Japan last time. Watched a stream of yours. Well, I don't know where you are now, but thanks for joining us wherever you are. I've never been to Japan. That would be a nice getaway. Hey, Sundial Fragrance Sniff Recommendations. Good to see you too. Thanks for joining. What was that? Oh, we're getting a couple of comments on there. Make sure you read the description if you're Yep, it looks like they are. Florida Living, if you're in here, make sure if you want to be included in the giveaway, go back and check the description, what you need to put, the hashtags you need to put in to be included in the giveaway. Just checking those real quick. How are we doing on time? We got 5 more minutes or so, and we'll get the giveaway done. Rick Ellison from Missouri. Hey, I'm in Missouri too. We may be neighbors. Depends on what part of Missouri you're from. Good to see you. Sage Wolf, good to see you too. Florida Living. Max, what do you have? Come here. Here, come. Yeah, don't chew on that. Hang on just 1 second. Robot vacuums are great, but keep losing the brushes. That's a little brush, whoops, on the bottom of it. And for some reason, Max thought that was a toy, and he wanted to chew on it, so had to rescue it. All right, we got Florida Living from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Good to see you. Andrew, hard last name. I can't ever pronounce your last name. Says, had to in an emergency build a new indoor quail cage last week because the chicken wire ones I had were causing the birds damage. So I built the ones out of wire shelving. Seems to work great. Well, hey, yeah, chicken wires, yeah, it's not a great solution for a cage because, I mean, it is cheap, but it's also very thin. So predators can get through it pretty easily. And if you're using that for flooring, it's a very thin gauge. A lot of times that can cause problems with their feet. But I'm glad you got the solution to that figured out. Alicia Drago, good to see you. Says your first live. Glad to be here. We're glad to have you. Thanks for joining. Verna says your kits are 11 days old today. Well, awesome. Congratulations on that. I've been kind of lazy, so I haven't gotten out and actually got my rabbits bred, but I'm going to be doing that probably this weekend. Ed Got Bates here. Good to see you, Ed. Says, hey, Chris, and congratulations again on your 100,000 subs. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Abba Love, good to see you. Day Oxneal, I think it is. I don't know if I've got that right, but good to see you too. Thanks for joining. Joe Sandry, good to see you. Go Joe Sandy, that's it. Joe Sandy. I think we're supposed to call you Sandy, aren't we? I'll probably forget that again, but thanks for joining us. Florida Living says, I've learned a lot from you. My quails are laying crazy. Well, yeah, they do lay crazy when they lay, don't they? Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you're getting the information you need. Chester Hickman says, should I feed my rabbits Timothy or alfalfa hay? What is better for rabbits, higher protein or fiber? You know, it doesn't really matter on the, I mean, both of those are going to have enough fiber in them, either one. You might want to, if you've got a choice and they're not a huge price difference, I would go with Timothy hay just because their diet, their pellets are primarily alfalfa. So alfalfa does have a whole lot of calcium in it. They don't necessarily need more alfalfa. So I would go with Timothy hay, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. You can do either one. Spartman says, hide your valuables. I've arrived. Hey, AJ, good to see you. Ben says, hey, from Black Bear Family Farms in Southeast Idaho. Very cold here. Putting the greenhouse poly around the porch to protect the quail from the wind. There you go. There, yeah, as long as they can keep out of the wind, they do fine with the temperatures. So, I don't know if your porch is in the sun, like where the sun's going to hit the greenhouse and heat it up in there. That might be a little bit of a, you might be cautious about that. You don't want it to get too hot in there for them. Mine live outside all year round in the wintertime when it gets down well below zero. As long as they can get out of the wind, they're fine. But it sounds like you already know that. You've got, you're going to be putting up some wind protection for them. So that'll work. Florida Living says, which video? The video, I just got your comment on the video, Florida. Let me make sure that's it. Florida Living 53 says, love your videos on the Slightly Redneck 100,000 subscriber giveaway. So that one, you may want to go back and check the description. Make sure you get your hashtags in it. You got about 3 minutes before we're going to start doing the drawings. So make sure you get the hashtags in there for whatever prize you want to be considered for. And make sure you're a subscriber too. You got to be a subscriber to win. Jan Steffi says, hello, Chris from Jan and Joe Steffi. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Uh-oh, I scrolled too far. Warchild says, do you ship to New Zealand? I'm unable to ship to New Zealand. You're talking about for the giveaway? Unfortunately, I can't. It's got to be U.S. based. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but yeah, I just can't do it. Hey, there's Feathered Connections. Good to see you. Rick says, I put 120 eggs on lockdown today. Well, good. Good luck with your hatch. Hopefully it goes well. Feathered Connections Homestead says, whoa, what a donation. Yeah, no, that is a great donation. I think that translates to, I don't know, what is it, about $30 US, but still fantastic. 169 DKK to USD dollars. $25 roughly, $25. Fantastic. That's a very generous donation. Lars is always very generous to us. And then Verna posted the link to the video that you need to comment on if you want to be considered. We got about a minute or two. David says, Chris, do you have any specific tools or brands that you use to dispatch rabbits? Not really. I've done it a couple of different ways. I've done it with a pellet rifle, right between the ears. I have a 22 caliber pellet rifle. It's a Gamma Whisper, but that doesn't really matter. And that would be similar to like a bolt gun. I've done that. That works pretty well. I've done the broomstick method using a handle, just a piece of wood, anything, honestly. A handle from an old shovel. You put it on either side, back of their neck, basically. Put your feet on either side of it, grab their back legs and pull. That dislocates their neck, and that dispatches them pretty quickly. So no really special brands necessarily. It's just whatever I have on hand. Those are the two ways that I found that work pretty well. Dawn from rainy South Central Illinois. Good to see you. Orlando says, Chris, I did the Conejo Loco the other day, and that was good. Well, awesome. I thought it was a pretty good recipe, so I thought I would share with you guys. A lot of the times when I'm sharing those recipes, I may be making it for the very first time. But if it's not good, I'm not going to share it. So anyway, Aubrey Martin says, random question. What do any of you guys rabbits around? Wait, what do any of your guys rabbits around 8 to 10 weeks old get hiccups a lot? I've never noticed that, but I mean, it would make sense. I think, puppies get hiccups a lot, things that are growing. I then get hiccups. So it would make sense, I guess, but I've never noticed that actually happening, but I'm not saying it wouldn't either. Gardening for Better Health from Michigan. Good to see you. All right. We're right at time. Let's do some drawings. Let's do a giveaway. All right, let's give away. Let me pull it up here real quick. We've got the, let me see if everybody got hopefully everybody got their comments in, because I'm going to fetch comments right now. What I've got is I don't know how well that's going to show up. Let's see if that can get random YouTube comment picker. I'm going to fetch these. Don't allow duplicates. Anything goes. What kind of keyword filter? All right, we're going to give away. I've got to put in the keywords. Hang on just 1 second for me. Give me just a second. We're going to give away the GQF incubator. That's the first thing we're going to give away. Give me 1 second here. I got to see. Sorry, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Okay, it's fetching the comments right now. You probably can't see that. It is fetching. So it loaded 164 comments. You know what? I don't think that's right. I think there were more comments than that should have had that on there. But, so I'm going to refresh this page. And then, oh, I got to get the link to the video. Hang on just 1 minute, guys. I'm so sorry. This is... Let's try this again. I don't know how well that filter is working, so we're just going to do it this way. Okay, so we got 217 comments loaded. I do not have a filter on there. I'm going to just go ahead and pick a winner. And then if it doesn't have GQF in there, because we're giving away the GQF, we'll pick another winner. So let's try it real quick. Picking a winner. Yep, it does. David Lister 2438. Can you see that? I don't know how well why that's not showing up. Why the camera won't focus. Come on, focus, camera. It's kind of fixed. It's kind of focused. But we got David Lister 2438. I'm reading it backwards, so I can't see it. So David Lister, if you're in here, don't know if you're in here or not. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Yeah, we don't know if David's in here or not, but I will go back and respond to your comment. If not, I'll give you the instructions on how to get a hold of me. Send me your shipping address so I can get that shipped out to you. So that was the first thing to give away. I'm going to scroll down here. What else do we want to give away next? We want to give away, that was the GQF incubator. So you got it. Congratulations to David. We're going to give away. Okay, let's give away the Dale's quail cage. I don't know if Dale's in here tonight or not. The Dale's quail cage. That's the one we're giving away. Okay. Let me try picking a winner again. Ed got bait. Ed, you won the Dale's quail. I don't know if that shows up. We can't get it to focus on that. Here, let me get my face out of the way. Maybe it'll focus. Ed got bait won the Dale quail incubator. Now, remember, you cannot be, we can't get, yeah, congratulations to Ed. You probably deserve that. I'm sorry, I said incubator. It's a Dale's quail cage. So we'll get you to send me your information. I'm going to have you shoot that to me over in my email. It's chris@slightlyrednecked.com. Send me your shipping information. Let me know where we need to get that shipped to. All right. And finally, Wynola Ranch. We've got the Wynola Ranch cage to give away. So let's go ahead and pick a winner for that and make sure. And it is Jack Sneed. Jack Sneed 123, I think. Is that what it says? Jack Sneed 123. I don't know if Jack's in here or not. But there are the three giveaways. So kind of uneventful, huh? No, not really. Pretty exciting, actually. Thank you to our sponsors, by the way. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's in here or not, but thank you to our sponsors for providing those great giveaways. There are some fantastic things we gave away, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so back to the comments. Congratulations to all the winners, by the way. We'll get down here in a second to all the congratulations and things. Let's jump back in where we left off with the comments. Thank you guys all for all my subscribers, by the way. Thank you guys for all subscribing to the content, for watching the videos, for supporting me in that way. I appreciate that very much. All right, Gumbo Galahad says, how many quail should I keep for a family of 3 to be stocked with eggs and meat? Depends on how many eggs you want to eat. I get this question a lot. Depends on how many eggs you want to eat and how much meat you want to eat and how often you want to eat it. So let me just give you some basics. I can't really tell you necessarily how many you want to keep, but give you some basic idea here. Your quail will lay about an egg a day, the females, the hens. You can expect about 4 quail eggs to equal 1 chicken egg. So you can kind of do the math there and see how many quail you need based on how many eggs you eat. If you eat on average 2 eggs a day per person in your family, a family of 3, that'd be 6 eggs per day. You need about 20 hens roughly to produce that many eggs. And then as far as incubating eggs go, you can store eggs up for about 7 days before you need to actually incubate them. So if you've got, let's say, 10 hens, for example, they're each laying an egg a day, then after 7 days, you'd have about 70 eggs that you could incubate. Let's say you get a 60% hatch rate out of that. I can't do the math in my head, but that's going to be somewhere around like 43 or so birds hatch. So roughly 43, 8 weeks, you'd have 43 birds that you could then process and put in the freezer and use. Figure maybe 2 per person. That's I'm assuming that a family of 3, one of those is a kid. That's probably only 1 for the younger kid, but maybe not. When my wife and I eat quail, we usually eat probably 2 per person with some sides. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea on that. You can kind of do some math and figure out how many you would need. I would suggest, it's pretty easy to ramp up. So if you're new to getting into quail, I would suggest starting a little bit smaller, maybe somewhere around 10 hens, 2 roosters, 12 birds total. Because if you decide, we really like the quail, we really like the quail eggs, we want to ramp up from there, but that gives you enough. That's not too much. You don't have to worry about building out huge amount of cage space for them all. You don't get overwhelmed with it. It's enough to handle pretty easily. They don't take up a whole lot of room. And then you can kind of get used to them a little bit and decide if you want to ramp up, you can do it very, very quickly and very easily. So I would start off with a little bit smaller. So Verna says, Chris, give about 30 seconds before you start chatting when you first go live so we don't miss anything. I do try to make sure I give disclaimers at the beginning. If you don't hear those, just tell you that the live broadcast runs at 8 o'clock Central. Choked on my own saliva there. Excuse me. I also, don't cuss at anybody. Don't be rude. Don't be hateful. Any of those kinds of things. And I don't know how long that takes, but I'll see if I can extend that a little bit so you don't miss anything. I guess that's when the ad runs. Blessed with Pet says the burger is delicious. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Roads and Valleys says, hope all is well. My internet is going in and out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is frustrating. Everything's good here. Hopefully all is well with you. Let's see. Gumbo Galahad has a little bit of an expansion on how many eggs they should, or how many hens they should keep. For a family of 3, says eggs almost daily and the birds once a week or so. Okay, so you probably want to go, I gave you some information on that. Hopefully that's enough for you to get a little bit of an idea. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to, it's going to take 15 to 17, let's say 18 days to incubate your eggs and get them to hatch. But you don't have to wait until those birds are full grown before you start another batch. If you were looking at pretty fast turnaround on your birds, then what I would do is incubate some birds, and as those hatch, maybe give them a week in the brooder box, and then set another set of eggs, because by the time those hatch, those in the brooder box will be about ready to go out to the grow out pens, and you can just kind of rotate the birds through that way, if that makes sense. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, to Gumbo Galahad, it's going to depend on how many eggs you eat. They'll lay almost 1 egg per day per bird, so figure 4 to 5 quail eggs per chicken egg. Yep, basically the same thing I said. So thank you for answering that. I appreciate it. Miranda says, whoops, I finally loaded. Oh, no. Hopefully you didn't have too many problems there. Jacob says, hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We did have a good Thanksgiving here. Went and spent some time with my sister and some family over there, which we do every Thanksgiving. It's always a good time, always good to see them. Had to work the next day, but that's okay. All right. Rick says, Chris, from north central Missouri, a little town called Bevier, huh? Bevier, huh? Well, you're not really neighbors to me then, but you're close enough. And Alicia says, Missouri here, we're in Columbia. So yeah, that's a little bit far. I'm in Joplin, so southwest, very southwest corner of Missouri, about as far southwest as you can get, pretty much. We border up with Oklahoma and Kansas, and then Arkansas is only about 30 minutes away. Poor Boy's Little Homestead and Papa's Place. That's a long name. Says, Chris, I've been raising American blue rabbits for 3 to 4 years now, but this fall I can't seem to get them to breed. If the bucks are sterile from the high heat of the summer, will they overcome it? Yes, they will. That's probably not the issue, though. Even a sterile buck will still breed. They're just sterile. It doesn't keep them from breeding. So if you're having a hard time getting them to breed, I don't know. You said 3 to 4 years. Does that mean your rabbits are probably 4 to 5 years old? If that's the case, they may be starting to age out. If your bucks are overweight, that could cause them to not want to breed. I'm assuming, and I don't. There's a lot of different things that could be happening here. If the buck's trying to breed but not getting successful fall offs, the does won't lift for him. That's one thing. If the buck's not wanting to breed at all, that could probably be something to do with, like I said, the buck could be aging out. 5 years old, a 5-year-old buck, that's getting pretty close to about the time they start to age out. You can usually get a little bit more out of them, but it varies a little bit. So that could be the issue. I'm not sure. You give me a little more information. What's happened when you say they won't breed? Let me know kind of what's happening. Are the bucks not interested at all? Are they overweight? Are the does the ones that aren't lifting? We'll try to address that if that's the case. Abba Love says, I put Christmas lights on the quail and they fought all night. In the morning, one female was scalped pretty bad and bleeding. Is that normal? I wouldn't say that's normal. You probably have an aggressive rooster. It may calm down. If you put lights on, then what that does is that kicks them into breeding mode again. And sometimes those roosters will get a little overly ambitious when they first get into breeding mode, and they'll overbreed the hens a little bit, especially if you have too many roosters. That could be a problem. But if it's, I wouldn't say it's normal. Sorry, get a drink, clear my throat. I wouldn't say that's normal at all. I have very few aggression problems with my quail. I mean, occasionally I'll have a little bit of fighting, but it's not very common at all. What else was I going to say about that? So give them a little bit of time. If it keeps up, I would keep an eye out for which one is the aggressive one. And if you've got the lights going all night long, try to put a timer on it so they shut off. You only need, you only need about 14 hours a day of light. So just figure out what time the sun goes down, and then how long your daylight is, and then only have the Christmas lights run. I see now there's an ad coming. I'm going to skip that ad for you guys. There you go. There was an ad coming up in like 40 seconds. I hit the skip button. We'll see if that does it. So you could put them on a timer so that you only, say you've got 6 hours of daylight. You only need the that's a while. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Only need the Christmas lights to run to a certain time instead of leaving them on all night long. That might help a little bit with that. If it is something that continues, see if you can identify which bird is the aggressive bird. You said the hens being scalped, that could be overbreeding. It could be aggression. It probably isn't. It's probably overbreeding. Aggression usually is going to be more like around the face and the eyes is where you're going to see damage being done. What? He just came running in here like he needed something, like something was urgent. So anyway, hopefully that helps. RBL Jackson says, hey, all, how's the hunting situation going? We're still waiting to see something during daylight hours, not seeing any movement during the day yet, unfortunately. I did get a deer. I got it the last day I was able to hunt, Sunday. When was that? 2 weeks ago? Whenever the last weekend of rifle season. I was in the stand Sunday evening, about to call it quits, and that's how it always seems to go. That was my last day to be able to hunt. And a buck walked out. He wasn't a super big buck, but he was big enough. See, I got a picture. I don't know if it'll show up on camera or not, but let's see what we can do here. Let's see if I can. He was probably 125, 130 pounds. Maybe. That's not showing up, is it? Let's see if I can get it up there. Maybe. There we go. So it was, like I said, not the biggest buck ever, but not bad. He was decent. He was big enough. So now I'm going to try to get back out and maybe pick up a doe and get a little extra meat in the freezer. Andrew says, on the chicken wire cages, I've had 3 birds that injured their heads from putting their head through the 1-inch holes and getting stuck. Well, that makes sense. That could be, that could be an issue for sure. If you give them enough space, they kind of look for ways to kill themselves, don't they? Oliver says, this was my first live. Well, thanks, Oliver. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for joining. Hopefully you join again at some point. Verna says, we'll be in December before I breed again, close to New Year's. Well, I don't see any problem with that. That makes sense. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, then for meat birds, you could probably take an extra egg you get and incubate them, assuming that you have 1 to 5 rooster to hen ratio. So I think that was probably in response to, who was that? Gumbo Galahad for your how many birds do you need? Blessed with Pets says, we're supposed to leave for New York today, but are pushing it to Saturday. My dad is getting his check late, so have no money. Going to New York, huh? Interesting. I've never been to New York. Well, hopefully have a good time. There it was James Brown. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm doing all right. Hopefully you are. I don't know what that was a response to. Don says, I got home today and had a quail egg in my coat pocket on the side. I had to click the seatbelt on twice. I'm so lucky it didn't break. LOL. I have gone to work with quail eggs in my pockets many, many times. It's always a little bit funny. I'm like, I stick my hand in my jacket pocket. I'm like, what in the, and I pull out a quail egg and people are like, where did that come from? I'm like, well, it came from a quail, Blessed with Pets says, I'm really struggling getting litters. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's the issue? And maybe we'll help troubleshoot it for you. James Brown says, it's me, the filing rabbits toenails guy from Nacogdoches, Texas. I remember talking to you before. I lived in Nacogdoches for a while. Miranda says, wait, hashtags what? Oh no. Hopefully you got your comment in. I mean, it's too late now, so I'm sorry I didn't see this comment until just now. Hashtags is a little number sign. Anyway. Tech Space says, hell, my Flemish mom made 12 babies, 10 survived, and are 1 month old and looking very healthy. This is my first litter of rabbits. Any advice, tips for growing? So 12 babies, 10 survived. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, anytime they have over 10 babies, you almost always lose 1 or 2. So you got 10, that's good. You're doing great. Says they're 1 month old and looking very healthy. There's not really a whole lot you need to do. Just keep the feeder full all the time. Make sure they don't run out of food. They're going to start, if they're 1 month old, they're already probably out of the nest box, roaming around, starting to eat. When they start spending more time out of the nest box than in it, just take the nest box out. Other than that, there's not much you need to do. Keep the feeder full. That's about it. Florida Living's asking what the prizes are. I was so late on getting to that comment. I'm sorry. We'll get to that here in just a second, but you kind of already figured it out, didn't you? I'm sorry. Sorry for the slow response to that. Those comments were way down there and I missed them and before I did the drawing. Okay. Where are we at? Text bet. So tech space. There we go. Got it out. So, whenever they get to be about probably between 6 to 8 weeks old, wait till they're at least 6 weeks old. But somewhere between about 6 to 8 weeks old, go ahead and remove them from their mother, put them in their own cage. You can go ahead and separate the males from the females at that point, or you can wait a little bit longer, but definitely get the males and females separated before they hit 12 weeks old, because they'll start to try to breed at that point if you don't. So Florida Living, you said, what are the prizes? I'm sorry, I didn't get to that until just now. Hopefully you figured that out. We already gave them away, so I'm sorry if we missed if you missed out on that. Sundial Fragrances says, my 7-week-old quail are just started laying. They took me by surprise, as I was expecting them to start at 8 weeks old. Sometimes you get overachievers and they start laying a little bit earlier. That's okay though. Congratulations on that. Chris says, hey, how's it going? Doing very well, thank you. Hopefully you are too. Is it Hyde Homestead? Have I got that right? Hopefully. Anyway, says very nice. I'm not sure what that's a response to, but and then Miranda Barnes says, oof, I'll miss the live though. I don't know what that means either. There's a whole bunch of comments in there for that. We're getting down to the section now, I think, where everybody was congratulating the winners and those kinds of things. So we're getting there. Hi Jumpstead says, bunny hiccups are cute. Bunny sneezes are cute. Well, bunny sneezes are cute, but that always makes me kind of worry about, like, do they have snuffles or something like that? Chris says, love your videos on quail. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Miranda Bars says, I hopped over and added GQF. LOL, maybe too late, though. No, you probably got in there, but you didn't win, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. I wish I could give it away to everybody, but I can't. Blessed with Pets says, I'm glad I checked because I had my hashtag in lowercase. I wouldn't have been in the drawing. No, you would have still been in it. You were fine. Feather Connection says, dang, missed the winners. Oh, no. Well, who were the winners? Ed Got Bait won the Dale's Quail Cage, I think. Or was it the Winola Ranch? Well, he won one of them. And then I can't remember the other names that were the winner. I'll have to go back and watch myself to get it. Hyde Homestead says, did you have to comment a certain word? Yeah, it was hashtag GQF if you wanted to be in the incubator giveaway, the GQF incubator giveaway. Hashtag DQ if you wanted to be in the Dale's Quail Cage giveaway. And hashtag was it WLR for Winola Ranch? Or maybe it was I can't remember now. But I had it all in there. I'm sorry if you didn't get in on it. It's been out for 2 weeks, so I did my best. AJ said, sounded like Max did a drum roll, LOL. Well, he's pretty good at that, so maybe he did. I just kind of tune it out now. I don't even know it. Gumbo Galahad says, thanks for all the help and congratulations to the winners. Yeah, absolutely. Blessed with Pets says, I really hope for the cage. Sorry you didn't win. Blessed with Pets. I wish you could have. Yep. Congratulations to Ed. Congratulations to all the winners. Oh, no. David Lister says, wow. Intranet on the lake is slow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. All right. I'm scrolling through a bunch of the comments on the congratulations to all the winners. See if we can get past that, because I'm sure there's other things that we need to get. I scrolled too far too, and everything just disappeared on me. There we go. Now we're getting back to it. Glasstron says, just move my birds back into the garage for the wintertime. If you have windproof, if you have a windproof area for them, there's no reason you need to put them in the garage. They can stay outside. Mine stay outside all winter long. They have the little closed in section on the side where they can get in and get out of the wind. That's it. They do fine. Rube C says, nice. I was thinking about buying that cage if I didn't win, so back to waiting for a good deal. Well, sorry you didn't win, but, you can find a good deal, hopefully. Miranda says, well, that was exciting. Yeah, maybe not super exciting. I don't know. Abba Love says, those are great gifts. They are fantastic giveaways. Thanks to our sponsors for that. If you talk to them, make sure you tell them thank you. Zach from My Shire Farm, Dale from Dale's Quail, and David from Winola Ranch. All of them very generous to sponsor us with that. Florida Living says, do you ever water glass your eggs? I do not. Sorry, I don't. Never have done it. I've seen information about it, but I just don't bother with it. Don says, awesome giveaway, Chris. Yeah, it was an awesome giveaway. Again, thanks to our sponsors for providing that for us, because that was fantastic. Chris Esteb, hopefully I got that right, says, Chris, congrats on 100,000. Thank you. Gold Pro Unlimited, good to see you. Says, hey to everyone. Aubrey Martin says, what do you feed your rabbit grow-outs to increase their weight gain? If you want the absolute best weight gain on your rabbits, just feed them nothing but pellets. No hay, no nothing else, just pellets. And get a fairly high protein, somewhere around a 19%, 16 to 19%, something like that. Feed them a straight diet of pellets. You'll get the best weight gain that you can get out of them. Some people add in things like calf manna, calf manna, I think it is. I don't know that makes any kind of difference whatsoever. But I just feed mine straight pellets. That's going to give you the best growth rate. So that combined with genetics, if you're getting really slow growth and you're feeding nothing but pellets to your rabbits, it's just a genetic thing. You may need to look for better genetics. We'll see. Ruve C says, it's just my husband and I. We want to eat quail about 10 times a month. So how many should I keep as breeders? And then how often should I incubate them? And how many to incubate? Oh my goodness, you guys make me do math here. You want to eat quail 10 times a month. So that's going to be, let's say 2 per person. So 20, before 40 birds a month. You want 40 birds a month that you can eat. So you really don't need that many birds to do that. If you were just to incubate once a month, you could have easily just, let's see. I'd say 10 hens would probably do that. That'll give you 70 eggs to incubate. You should be able to get at least 40 of those to hatch out every time, and then grow those up. I mean, there'll be a little bit of a delay there, but if you're doing that once a month, you should have at least 40 birds a month that you could be eating. So that'd be 10 times per month, 2 birds each every time. Hopefully that makes sense. So that'd be 10 hens and 2 roosters, basically. That would do it. Unemployable says, with standard hatching eggs instead of jumbos with a good breeding program, how many generations would it take to get to jumbo size? That's hard to say. That's difficult. You're better off probably just ordering jumbo eggs, honestly, if you want to get to jumbo size. Because when you're looking at trying to isolate the jumbo genes, you're going to have to cull incredibly hard. Everything that doesn't meet weight, just get rid of it immediately. Only keep your strongest ones. It's going to take several generations, probably years to get to a jumbo. So you're better off just ordering and getting jumbo eggs. So and Tara says, maybe looking at a New Zealand buck soon. Stopped in to say hi, give a like, listen to giveaway. Now going to call the lady back. I may be doing some driving to look at a buck this weekend. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully it's a good one, and hopefully you pick it up. Thanks for stopping by the way. Buster says, I ended up with 92 out of 100. I'm not sure what that means exactly. 92 eggs out of 100 hatched. That's great. Orlando says, I'm interested in a Celadon quail eggs, and Buddy know where I can buy them. Yeah, Zach at My Shire has Celadon eggs, I believe. So check with him and see, I believe. Whiskey Tango does have Celadon as well. You're right. So there's 2. Kansas City Quail Farm and Bryant's Roost has Celadon eggs. I thought Kansas City Quail Farm had shut down. I thought they stopped selling, but I may be wrong on that. Guidro's Family Farm. There's a link from Verna for Guidro's Family Farm. Says check them out. They have, I guess, Celadon eggs as well. RBL Jackson says, good luck, everyone. Congrats again for hitting 100,000. Well, thank you very much. Miranda says, the Ghidro's eggs haven't hatched yet, but they communicated well with me and are NPP. NPIP, there you go. S.O. Swanson says, Ghidro's family farm is good people if you need a reference. They are good people, I agree. I have met them. I know them. They're good people. So there's a couple of different places you can check with. Ed says, that's awesome, Chris. First time winning anything on YouTube. Well, you are absolutely welcome. I'm glad you won something, Ed. You deserve it. I know you do a lot for everybody else. You're very active in the community, so it's great that you get something won out of that. Jesse says, I'll second Ghidro's family farm reference. Hey, there's Aaron. Ghidro's right there. Says, looks like I showed up at the right time. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. We're just talking about you. It was all good, too, so. Diana Tuttle says, hey, all, Chris, you explained so well. Well, thank you. I'm not sure what I explained. Hopefully I got it right. You're welcome. Rick says, question, I ordered jumbo Coturnix quail eggs, and when they matured, it seemed half of them were small. Is that normal for jumbo eggs? I wouldn't say it's normal for half of them to be small, but it's not. I mean, you're going to get some small birds from time to time. Call those out. Use those as your meat birds. Keep the bigger ones. Use those as your breeders. Half those seems awful high. S.O. Swanson says, well, if Aaron's here, I take that back. Just kidding, of course. Glasstron says, have a mix. Some males just seem to do a little more damage. I'm not sure what that was a response to exactly. So you have a mix of females and males, and some males seem to do a little more damage. That's true. Sometimes you do get males that get a little more damage. They usually will calm down as things go on, but you know, when they first start breeding, they get a little over anxious with it, especially if they're younger, or like I said, it's the start of the breeding season. Usually they'll calm down a little bit. S.O. Swanson says, your buck you got was bigger than mine. I didn't get one. Well, that happens. Verna says, congratulations on the buck, Chris. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't the biggest buck I've ever shot. He was big enough. He was the only one I had. Well, I take that back. I had a really nice buck come in. I've got a tree stand that's in the woods, and I was about ready. It was same kind of thing. One day I was about ready to climb down out of the tree stand. It was noon. It was like midday, and I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning, almost 10:30ish. And I had a little buck come by earlier that morning. That was it. And I hadn't seen much of anything, and thought, well, I'm going to give it another 15 minutes or so. And if I don't see anything, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And I looked up at the edge of the woods there. I may have told this story already, but looked up at the edge of the woods there, and I could see a deer coming in from it. There's a field out there, and I could see him coming in from the field into the woods. I didn't know if it was a buck or a doe. It was a little ways away. It's real brushy back there. I have a very narrow area that I could shoot. But, you know, deer pretty much has to be in a very narrow area, a very small area before I could even get a shot at it. And this was rifle, so I had my rifle. And whatever deer it was moved in and started walking that direction away from me. It was a ways away at this point, in the brush. Couldn't see it. So I hit that grunt call a couple of times, and man, he came just right to me, just like on a string, you know, and he ran right up underneath my tree stand. He was a pretty good buck, pretty good 10-point buck. And right under my tree stand, walked behind me. Of course, I can't shoot him right underneath me, you know, like that. I guess I could, but I'm not going to do that. He walked behind me, so I stood up, turned around, and I got my scope on him just about where I needed it to be, and he took a few steps forward into the brush. Couldn't get a clear ethical shot on him, so I let him go. Other than that, that buck I shot was the only one I saw that was worth shooting. I did have a couple of does come by, passed them up, and I did have a lot of little bucks come by that I didn't want to take. So we'll see. David says, our lunch today was one of your first rabbit kits in a crock pot. Yum. Well, good. I don't remember what that was. First rabbit? Wait. One of your first rabbit kits in the crock pot. Okay, well, congratulations on that. It always feels good to produce your own food. So, dadgummit, I can't get, there we go. Glasstron, say, how are we doing on time? We got 9 minutes left. Boy, time flies when you're giving things away, doesn't it? Glasstron says, I just keep the males in only long enough to get some fertile eggs, then remove them for a while. You may run into some problems with that. Whenever you try to put males back in, there's almost always going to be some aggression and fighting that goes on because quail get very, very territorial. As long as you don't have too many males, just leave them in there all the time with your hens. There's no reason to take them out necessarily. If you're running into problems with aggression or overbreeding, it may be because you're taking them out and reintroducing them. It's very difficult to introduce new adult birds to an existing flock. Chester says, how many grow out cages do I need per breeding doe? Well, that really depends on, oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Was that David Lister? That's the one that won the breeding, the GQF incubator? I can't remember now. I got to go back and watch it. Anyway, Chester Hickman says, how many grow out cages do I need per breeding doe? We're talking rabbits here. So it really depends. It depends on how good your genetics are. If your rabbits are getting to 5 pounds by 8 weeks, you only really need probably one grow out pen. You can you can leave them with the doe all the way up till 8 weeks and then process them. You wouldn't need any grow out pens. But it's always good to have at least one, maybe two extra for that. If you're not too worried about keeping them separate by litters, and you're going to have more than one litter at a time, you could mix all your males in one cage from multiple litters and all your does in another cage for multiple litters. One cage, if you got like 7 or 8 rabbits in there, it's going to get a little crowded, but only for like the last week or two. Now, if they grow out a little bit slower, you need to go more like 12 weeks before you're processing them. Then you might want to have at least 2 grow out pens so you can split the litters up. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. That made sense. TM's here, says I'm late, but I made it. That's all good. We're just about out of time, but hey, you made it anyway. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Guidro's Family Farm. Hello to you. Good to see you. TM says, I read you got a buck. Congratulations. Didn't hear the story. Yeah, well, it wasn't much of a story. I just had I was sitting in the stand Sunday evening, last day. I think rifle season ended on Tuesday, but it was going to rain all day Monday, and I didn't want to hunt in the rain. So Sunday evening was my last day to hunt rifle season, and it was probably 45 minutes before into light. I had a little doe come out, walk over right behind me in my tree stand, and I was getting ready to probably, I was thinking, well, may not happen tonight because nothing's happened. And then about that time, this buck walks out. He wasn't a huge buck. He was a decent 8-pointer, probably 125, 130 pounds, something like that. He walked out of the woods right in front of the tree stand, walked straight over behind me near that little doe. I stood up, turned around, got my rifle on him. I said, I'm not sure because he wasn't a huge buck, but I thought, yeah, it's meat in the freezer. I probably will. And he just stood there. So I thought, well, that's a sign. So I shot him, got a good shot on him. He collapsed for the most part, jumped up, bolted, went about 10 yards, fell and crashed. So it was a good shot. He went down quick, very fast dispatch, good ethical shot I felt good about. And that doe just stood there the whole time looking around like, what just happened? She had no idea until I climbed down out of the tree stand. She stood there until she saw me climbing down out of the tree stand. Then she finally ran off. Blessed with Pet says, well, I think my only proven buck is sterile. Then I have 2 non-proven bucks. One just so aggressive to does. I'm not keeping him. And my last buck, it's not really interested in does, though. Oh, your last buck's not really interested, huh? Is he overweight? You may put him on a diet a little bit, get him to lose a little bit, not much. See if that helps. Verna says the earliest I have had a quail lay an egg was 5.5 weeks old. That's pretty early. Glasstron says the way the males lay over on their side when done is cute. Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it? Blessed with Pet says I managed to breed both. Whoa, I just scrolled somewhere and I got something that jumped up in front of me. Get away. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm having a computer. Something's going on with the computer here. Get away. I don't want that. There we go. Where was I? Okay. There we go. Blessed with Pet says, I managed to breed both the non-proven bucks to different does, but still not sure they took. And on top of this, most of my does are stubborn and won't lift. That's a pretty common issue. Yeah, Verna's got a good suggestion. Says if he isn't interested, she might not be in season. It could be, but that's also the same advice for your does too. If they don't want to lift, give them a couple of days, try again. And how old are the does? That's the other question I was going to ask. So good advice there. Rabbit homesteading. So yeah, if your does are just now getting of age, you may just have to give them a little bit longer. 67 likes now. We only got 61 people in here. Rabbit homesteading said 57 watching and 57 likes. Said it's thing. LOL. TM says, what's your Timpson, Missouri day and night time? Right now, we've been getting down in the high 20s at night and up in the 40s. Today was warm. Yesterday it didn't get that cold. I think it only got down to like 35 last night. And then today it was like 50, 51, something like that. But it's been rainy today, cloudy and rainy. So it felt a little colder than that, but about 50 today probably. We're getting into our colder season where it's going to be in the wintertime. We don't get like weeks upon end where it's below freezing, but we will get below freezing for a period of time. Scrap 5000 says, did you happen to see my video on Southern Italian farmers sausage on Two Guys in a Cooler? Was wondering if you liked or if it was nauseating. No, I saw it. I looked good. I haven't tried it. I need to go back and check it out and give it a try. Blessed with Pet says, they out of 9 does, the oldest is 2 1/4 years old, and the youngest is 5 1/2 months old. All Hall and Lops, not really trying to breed the younger doe yet. Yeah, give that younger doe a little bit more, maybe a month, and she should be about ready. Your other ones, though, 2 1/4 years old, so they should be ready to breed. You may just have to keep trying. Just keep trying with them. Give them, try the old trick. Put them in a car, a pet carrier, drive them around the block, then try to breed them and see how they do. Caesar says, we had our second quail dinner last night, roasted quail and rice. Nothing wrong with that. That sounds pretty good. TM says, you will need to raise some replacement quails if you want to eat 40 a month. Well, eventually you will, yeah. Oh, Verna says they don't have Celadon quails at my shire yet. I know he's working on them. I couldn't remember if he had them yet or not. Rabbit Homesteading says, you all already like to love slightly. I don't know what that means, but it says, I have to go. Good night. All sorry to miss the rest. It's all good. We're about done here. We got to wrap it up. It is 9 o'clock, isn't it? It's time for me to wrap this one up. Got to get off here. So, all right. Hey, there's Dale. Dale made it. Says, congratulations to the 100K, Chris. Congratulations to the winner. Thanks for helping spread the valuable information found on Slightly Redneck's channel. Well, thank you very much. Dale says, sorry for being late, processing more venison this evening. I know you got a good buck, way better than mine. So congratulations on that. And thank you again, Dale, for sponsoring, for being one of the sponsors tonight, providing that. I'll get you the information on the winner. I think Ed Got Bait may have won your cage. So I'll get it to you, though. I'll make sure I get all the information to you and where you need to send that. All right, guys, I got to wrap this one up. We're late. I didn't get to all the comments. Sorry, I did not. Hopefully, if you had a question or something, you got it answered tonight. Should be back next week. Don't see any reason why we won't be. So let's wrap this one up. And thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm stumbling over my words. So Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. And as always, God bless.